Hey dudes and chicks, and neither if those roles don't apply to you. Welcome to Makeup for Lost Time. My name is Katie. Today I'm going to be talking about my holy grail complexion products. And so if you're interested in seeing the things that I use to make my skin look like the way that I want it to look, then just hang out. Okay, so I'm going to start with primer. Oh, and I wanted to tell you guys that I'm not wearing any other makeup, including eyebrows, and I just have some gloss on my lips because I really wanted you guys to see like the power of having a really good complexion regimen. So I'm going to start with primers, and I only use 2 primers. I've really gotten it narrowed down. I've used other primers and they work okay, but these 2 are the 2 that really, like, I believe improve the quality of my skin as I use them, as well as act to keep my foundation looking nice and fresh and not getting cakey and not being too much and not being too little. So I just want to say, I just want to give the disclaimer right now. So I have a medium skin tone, and I would say normal skin. I don't have dry skin. I don't have super oily skin. I do have to be careful about keeping product on my nose, but not that careful. Like, I don't need to put concealer on my nose or do anything to keep from my product like coming off. Now, I don't know if that's the way I do my highlighter on my nose or what the deal is, but I'm just telling you guys right now that I have mature, normal skin with big pores right here and big pores in my nose. The 2 primers I use, and I will include the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer because I do believe that it works, but I know for a fact that this does not contain the ingredients in it that improves the quality of my skin, and so, or even works as anti-aging. Now, I'm not going to say that any product works as anti-aging, but I will say that when I use these products over time, my skin starts to look better. And the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer is not one of those products, but it does work, and it's an affordable option. People say that it's a dupe for this, which is the Tatcha Silk Canvas. It isn't. It works really well, and it's an affordable option. So I do want to include this in here. And the Luminous Primer, all those the other primers that I've used, they don't actually work any better than this one. And honestly, I didn't see the luminous piece when I used it, but I do think that the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer is an affordable option. I think this is like $8. So, and it sells out really fast. So I wanted to include it as an affordable option. And so the other primer that I use pretty religiously, and you guys have seen me use it on here a lot, is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Primer. And I think it's like $15, but it smells really good. And so if you don't like fragrance, it's not for you. But I do believe that the hyaluronic acid in this primer improves the quality of my skin as I use it. So like I say, if you guys want to see a really good video on primers, check out Jen Luvs Reviews. I'll put it in the cards up here, and I'll link it in the description box down below. But if you want to watch a really informative review on primers and comparisons, watch Jen Luvs Reviews primer comparison, because she's really informed. She has a lot of great details about ingredients that are in skincare or that are in primers that would actually help and do what that primer says. She like reviews them critically and tells you like, this says it's going to do this, but with these ingredients, it's not, or with these ingredients, this is going to be great. And so the other thing I am going to say is I believe that all of these products that I'm going to mention, except one, has ingredients in it that are bad for you as well as good for you. But I don't know that for a fact because I'm not an ingredients comber, but I do like, I do have a really high standard of ingredients for like my skincare regimen. I have only green skincare products. If you guys are interested in hearing about my skincare products, let me know in the comments. Okay, so moving on. So I do believe that this Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Primer works really, really well. And I also believe it like makes my skin look great without the foundation. So I guess that's the 2 criteria I would say, is that it makes my skin look good and it improves it over time. And also, if I just put primer on and I don't put any foundation on, my skin still looks good. So the other one is the Tatcha Silk Canvas, and they sell these in 2 sizes, and one is like this big. It's like the size of a 50-cent piece. It's like this big, and it's $20, and there's like this much product in it. I bought 2 of those, and then I finally caved and bought got this when I got my tax returns because I believe that this is the only primer besides this one. And so when I watched the Luvs Reviews video about the Tatcha Silk Canvas, she did state that there is no evidence stating that the rice mixture, whatever rice blend that's in this primer, actually there's no research to prove that it does what it says it does. But when I use this primer, I start to look better and better and better when I use it consistently. So this is $58 or some shit. It's crazy expensive. And this is what it looks like on the inside. It comes with, oh, what did I do with it? I swear to God, it's this every time. I thought I put it right here. Oh, I did put it right here. So it comes with this, and this is basically the applicator device. And what you're supposed to do is you scrape it along here until you get it to this line. I use this very sparingly. It smells great, it looks great, it feels great, and when I use it, I swear to God, my skin starts to look better. So I only use these two primers. These are the only primers for Katie. Oh, the other thing I do want to say is I prefer like a light to medium coverage. I don't have perfect skin. I just prefer a light to medium coverage. Now, there's a couple reasons for that. I never wore foundation until I was literally like 43. Like this last year I started wearing foundation. So I don't prefer a full coverage where none of my blemishes or none of my flaws show. I don't care about that. I just think it's fun to wear foundation, and I do think certain foundations look prettier than others. I will also say wearing the wrong foundation can fuck you up, girl and dude. So, okay, I just wanted to say those things because when I put on a primer, I don't care if the coverage isn't that full. So if you're someone who prefers full coverage, if you have things that you're trying to cover up, or discoloration or rosacea or any of those things, I found that people that, you know, maybe the same people that prefer these particular products are people that already have pretty good skin. I just don't require a perfect, flawless finish to feel beautiful. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into my foundations. Okay, so the first foundation that I ever fell in love with was the Too Faced Peach Perfect. Now, I haven't used this foundation in a really long time, and my style and what I care for in a foundation has changed. I do know that when I bought this, I loved it, and it was the only foundation for me. And so I am in the shade Warm Nude, or at least I was at that time. And this has that peach smell that Too Faced does. Oh God, it just smells so good. And even though Too Faced is Too Faced, I still wanted to put this in here because I love this foundation. And then the other foundations that I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. And it looks like this, and I'm pretty sure it's like $38. I don't remember how much this one is. I'll put it right here, or right here somewhere. I don't know. My moral compass is fucked. So this was actually the foundation that taught me a lot about my skin, because at the time, when I got this Comfort Matte, this is a Comfort Matte foundation, because when I first started wearing foundation, I had that weird, like, my product wouldn't stick on my nose, and so I didn't really know. I thought I had oily skin because of that, and so I got this Comfort Matte foundation. Well, I bought it because it looked great, but when I tried this Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous foundation, I realized I don't have super oily skin. I have I have oil, but it's not like overbearing. And so this just looks so beautiful and luminous. I look super fresh throughout the day and dewy and shiny, and it just looks, I feel like it almost looks a little sporty. When I wear it, I look a little bit like more athletic or more active. It's a little shiny, so it looks really good with like my fairy looks, which you guys know I love those looks. So yeah, I'm in the shade 230N, and actually tried it yesterday, and so my skin is back to a tone where I'm not worried to put this on. In the winter, I get fairly pale, but not as pale as I think I am. Like, I think I'm pretty pale and like yellowy looking, but I'm not, because my foundation tells me a different story. If you guys want to learn what your foundation color is, you can go to Sephora and get it checked. We don't have a Sephora here anymore because it's fucking Missoula, Montucky, but I Actually, I'm certain that Kentucky has Sephora's everywhere. Montana doesn't. So I guess we'll just call it Montana and be good with that. So the next foundation that I love, and it's actually the foundation that I'm wearing today. I actually wore a combination that was, this is like one of the most beautiful combinations of complexion products that I ever wear, and I wore it just because I felt like looking very flawless and like a vampire, because the makeup look I'm going to do is going to be like kind of vampy. Little baddie, is the Urban Decay Stay Naked foundation. And like I say, it's what I'm wearing today. I don't wear a lot of this, either one of these. I literally just put enough on to just cover my face, not cover it, but like reach the distance of all this area. Because if I wear too much of either of these, I don't feel comfortable. I feel cakey. It gets in my wrinkles. My wrinkles get more prominent. Well, not all of them, just my smile lines. My smile lines get really, I get dramatic creasing to me. And what's dramatic to me might not be what's dramatic to you. So I'm not trying to backpedal or not be offensive or whatever. I'm not trying to not offend you, but but like, I don't look at other people and see their creases and go, oh my God, girl. I mean, sometimes I do, but like, I don't look at creasing on other people and think anything of it. Like, you do you, babe. So anyways, that's what I'm wearing today. I love this foundation. It never fails me. None of these foundations ever fail me. When I wear these products, it always looks great. And so these are both 38 something, 40. They're in that range, between $30 and $40. I did get this on sale from the ABH website, and I got it for $28.50. So I got like 20% off or something like that, and I couldn't resist it. I had to buy it. So these two foundations, I got samples, free samples from Sephora, and when I saw the deal, I took it. So as I said, I don't know if I said, this is Urban Decay Stay Naked Foundation, and I am in the shade 41NN. Now, I'm wearing it today, and it did look a little dark, so I really made sure to bring it down on my neck to make sure that like it didn't look too dark. I will say right now that, oh, so I want to tell you guys, and I've done many foundation reviews, and I just didn't like them, so I never uploaded them. I've filmed so many fucking videos that I never upload. Anyway, my problem, not yours. When you wear a shade, if you're more mature, which I'm not fucking mature, I'm just older. I'm just older. I don't like to call my skin mature because I feel like it's super PC for one, and then the other thing is I feel like I'm not mature. I'm not. So it doesn't feel appropriate. I have older skin. I'm 43 years old, and if you're in an age group where you are looking at your skin and you're seeing your fine lines and you're seeing your pores get bigger and you're starting to get a little jowly like me, the more your foundation is too dark for your complexion, the older it's going to add age. And so if you're going to go a shade that's not your actual shade, you're going to want to go lighter. Always go a shade lighter than a shade darker if you are older. Okay, so the last foundation that I have fallen in love with, and actually I've shown these to you all in the order that I started getting into them, so is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Tinted Moisturizer. So this is a no-brainer. If you don't need full coverage and you are into that like more natural, like not having anything to really hide, this is actually become like my absolute favorite. When I put this on when I don't care, like when I just know that this is never going to go wrong for me. Like, it's always looks super fresh, super natural. It gives you just a little bit of a color shift, or I don't know exactly how to explain it, but this is light coverage. Like, this does not cover your blemishes or your flaws. It just adds a little something to like make your skin look more fresh and more young and more luminous and more hydrated. It's just really good shit. I've been wearing it every day pretty much all winter, so I always get compliments on my skin. And honestly, I get compliments on my skin a lot when I wear these things, so that's the reason why I'm kind of telling them to you guys, because people compliment my skin, and I just started wearing foundation recently. My best friend was like, Katie, I can't get used to you wearing foundation, and it's actually offensive that you've been wearing foundation because there's some people that actually have shit to cover up. But I just feel like on camera and like when I actually do my eye makeup looks, it does add something to my eye makeup looks that makes it just look a little more finished, and it just gives you a nice canvas to put your work on. Now I'm gonna go into powders, and I have 3 powders here. I love all of these powders, and I only wear these 3 powders. I did used to like the Becca Hydra Mist, but I've just found that I like these ones a little better. The first one I'm gonna put in is an affordable option, and it's the e.l.f. HD powder. I love the way this looks. It adds a little bit of rosiness. It's just so slight, but I really like it like with my fairy looks, like when I wanna look a little pinker or a little more rosy. I'm not rosy. I'm almost a perfect neutral, just one shade of yellow to the other side of neutral. So this, you can see it just has a little tiny bit of a pinkish shift, but it is a translucent powder. It doesn't leave any color on your face, and also it looks almost iridescent. It's almost iridescent. That rosy shift is almost like an iridescent pink. And so I like that when I want to look a little bit unnatural or a little more stone-like, and I say that in like terms of like the Vampire Chronicles, where they look a little bit more stony and like magical, not of this world. The other powder that I'm going to tell you guys about is like actually like seriously one of my favorite powders, and so I have to mention it. It's from a brand called Arbonne, and it's the Setting Pretty Translucent Setting Powder, loose powder. And I'm just gonna give you guys a little, I don't know if it will show on camera. This powder has the most beautiful microfine shimmer. It's just the tiniest bit of shimmer. You guys probably aren't gonna be able to see that. Let me see if I can turn my ring light down. In the sunlight, it looks like Edward from Twilight. It just has the slightest bit of shimmer that just makes you look glowy and young and fresh and beautiful. And the other powder that I love is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I don't know how much this is actually. It was so long ago that I bought it. And then this is like also maybe $42. I'm not exactly sure. For the sake of me, since I'm talking about it, I'll put it right here somewhere. This is like, it just gives you the slightest hint of a shine. And I literally use the smallest bit of this to just barely set. And I find that when you buff it, like I set it, but then when I buff it, it just has the slightest bit of shine and it just looks so natural. It really gives you that real skin finish where you look alive. So those are my powders, and then I'm going to talk about bronzer really quick. I've literally only used one bronzer until just recently, and it's the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is a drugstore product. It's actually $15, so I feel like it's really midsies as far as price-wise goes, but it looks like this. It smells like coconuts. If you're not into that, I'm really into that. And then it's just got this, it's just a little bit, it's got a sheen. It doesn't have a shine, it has a sheen. I don't know, you guys probably can't see that. But the color also works for me. It's really light, and so it doesn't really look like I bronzed. It looks like I added my natural skin tone back onto there. Now it is a little warmer, which means red. It's kind of, I would say, a peachy or like a rose gold. That's the tone that it leaves on my skin, but it just brings my skin back to life. When you put foundation on, it takes the life away because your skin is flat. There's no color. I love this butter bronzer. I love the way it smells. I enjoy putting it on. I actually look forward to opening it. The scent is kind of going away because it's getting older, but honestly, it's a product that I might not ever hit pan because I would rather buy another one that still smells good than hit pan on this one. And then, okay, so I'm gonna talk about a super stupid fucking pricey face palette. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to talk about the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Ghost palette. So this is the second one. They came out with an original one, but it's tiny. It's like, I have eye palettes. My small eye palettes are the same size. I'll just show you. Like, I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger. This is the brush that I use to bronze. It's this big. This is how big it covers, right? It covers this entire square, or this square. These are like eyeshadow pans. So like what I'm saying that to exaggerate the exorbitant amount of money that this costs. However, nothing makes me look like this. Nothing makes me look like this. I'm going to show you. So this is the bronzer, and I'm wearing it today. It looks super natural, luminous. These are the two blushes. These are the two finishing powders, and this is the highlighter. And I'm wearing this entire palette today. I wore the blush, I wore the highlighter. The highlighter really has a glow from within sort of look. The bronzer has a glow from within sort of look. And then after I put everything on, I just take my brush and I go like this over the top of these two, and I put some under my eyes to make my eyes lighter and like a little bit shiny. And then I just go like this and I take a little bit more, put it on my nose. And I'm wearing this palette today, and I absolutely, whenever I wear this, I get compliments. Like, I look super natural, dewy, magical. So I just wear it, and it's worth the money to me. Like, I don't use it all the time because I don't want to waste it. But when I use it a lot, and it makes the finish on my skin look so beautiful that it is so worth it. And honestly, I've used it quite a bit and haven't even scratched the surface of it. You don't have to use much. A little goes a really long way. So this is a game changer if you guys are interested, and I'll list all of the purchasing information in the description box. Okay, and so the last thing I'm going to talk about is setting sprays. I don't use setting sprays because they make my skin break out in bumps. So setting sprays like the Urban Decay All-Nighter or anything like that, I don't use that because they dry my skin out, they give me pimples, and if you're older, you don't want to look dry. I've actually talked about foundation basics on here before, so if you guys, I'll link that video in the cards and also in the description box below if you guys want to watch my foundation basics video. So the two setting sprays that I use are actually like, oh yeah, this is a setting mist, and this is a facial spray. So I use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Setting Spray, and I use that with the combination of the primer and the foundation, and it just looks so beautiful. The other thing that's great about this is the mister. The mister is so fine that I can literally spray it right at my face, and it just gives this even, perfect mist that has no spots of moisture or anything like that. This is an affordable option as well. It's like $15. I feel like everything in this collection, the Pretty Fresh collection, is $15 or something like that. So you can get the whole thing for $45, whereas you pay more for one thing with the Tatcha Silk Canvas than you pay for the whole set for ColourPop. Now, the thing about ColourPop is I did end up being able to get these at Ulta, and when Ulta opens back up, that'll be a good option for you. But ColourPop doesn't do refunds. If you order these, oh wait, these are like $8 or $10 or $12 or something like that. Like, they're all like basically $15. I think these are $12. But you can't return it if you get the wrong color. So I suggest if you have an Ulta that you get this from Ulta, but I will list the ColourPop option down below. If you already know your color, though, if you already know your shade, then you order it from, but I don't order foundation because I'm not going to fuck around trying to return shit and send it back in the mail. That's just more than I can handle. Usually if I have to return something by mail, it doesn't get returned. There are a few exceptions. So the other, I use a facial spray with aloe, and that's what I'm wearing today. It's the Mario Badescu Skincare facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. I have not tried another kind because this just makes my skin, I'm wearing it today, I look super natural, luminous, just fresh, and it just hydrates my whole makeup, and it actually makes my foundation look like it's not like cracky and dry and powdery. It looks like natural and like melded to my skin, and it's just perfection. So these are the two setting sprays that I swear by. They're my holy grails. So that's the end. Like, these are my things. What I'm wearing today is actually like pretty much all my most expensive stuff, and I don't regret any of these purchases. I honestly feel like I would like to try the Dewy, the Wet n Wild Dewy foundation, because I've heard really good things about it, but I also know that the Wet n Wild formula smells super chemically, so it's only $7, so I'll probably try it, but if I try it, it's not gonna matter because I have these things that work so great for me, and they're just not even, I just don't see any need for another. I've tried other foundations. I tried the Juvia's Place. I did a review on it and never posted it because I hated it. And so anyways, I wanted it to be an affordable option for people, but I looked like a fucking mummy. So when I turned my head, dust came off because it was so fucking dry. So anyway, these are the products that I swear by. I hope you guys learned something from this. This is my holy grail face routine, and honestly, like, I have a really high standard of what my skin should look like. So I hope you guys love this. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the little bell right next to it so that you can be notified every time I upload. God, what are you drunk? So that you can be notified every time I upload. Like this video if you liked it, and hang out with me in the comments and let me know, are you guys interested in stuff about my skincare regimen, or yeah, just let me know what you guys thought about this video. Thank you so much for watching. You guys could have been anywhere, but you were spending your time with me, and I totally appreciate you. Later.